Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Jay has the evening off. President Trump's Supreme Court nominee takes the hot seat on Capitol Hill today. But first, Judge Brett Kavanaugh's accuser, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, told her side as she testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee. A vote on the nomination could come as soon as next week, or this weekend rather. CBS's Nicole Killian has the details on the nearly 9 hours of testimony and interrogation.
This has destroyed my family and my good name.
Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh appeared before the Senate Judiciary Committee Thursday, forcefully denying he sexually assaulted Dr. Christine Blasey Ford when they were both in high school.
I'm not questioning that Dr. Ford may have been sexually assaulted by some person in some place at some time. But I have never done this to her or to anyone.
But under oath, Ford offered a different account.
I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling. I thought that Brett was accidentally going to kill me.
Republican lawmakers deferred to prosecutor Rachel Mitchell to poke holes in Ford's claims.
You said that you do not remember how you got home. Is that correct?
I do not remember.
Democrats called for an FBI investigation.
I welcome whatever the committee wants to do because I'm telling the truth.
The hearings lasted for about 8 hours. Republican senators met afterwards to discuss what comes next.
I don't see any reason for delay. And he's clearly a very fine man.
If every Democrat votes against Kavanaugh, the GOP can only afford to lose one vote.
Assuming we get to a floor vote, I certainly plan to support his nomination.
President Trump tweeted his full support for Kavanaugh, saying in part, "Judge Kavanaugh showed America exactly why I nominated him." The Senate Judiciary Committee is set to vote on Kavanaugh's nomination Friday, with the first Senate floor vote on Saturday. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Judge Kavanaugh could be confirmed as early as next week. The nearly 9 hours of testimony didn't do much to change the opinions of Montana's two U.S. senators, both releasing statements immediately following today's proceeding. In a statement from Senator Jon Tester's communication director, Marne Banks, she states Senator Tester, quote, finds Dr. Ford's testimony credible and the accusations against Judge Kavanaugh deeply troubling. John will be taking time to review the full transcripts of the hearing as well as the judge's record and will continue to listen to the people of Montana about this lifetime appointment to the highest court in the land. Senator Steve Daines siding with the judge today, quote, as I watched it today, I concluded that there is no corroborating evidence to support this serious allegation. Rather, this seems to be an orchestrated smear campaign intended to destroy Judge Kavanaugh at the 11th hour. The Democrats turned this process into an embarrassing political circus that will have lasting effects for generations to come. Switching gears to the weather front tonight, Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire joins us. Bob, it's getting colder and the rain is here.
Yeah, rain is here and it's now starting to change over to snow in some parts. Let me show it to you on the Doppler radar. You can see the leading edge of that cold air. What's happening is the rain is starting to go uphill, and as it does that, it gets into a little cooler atmosphere and it starts changing over to snow from Great Falls all the way down towards Billings and towards Wyoming, Sheridan. So yeah, let's take a little bit closer look at this. You can see the snow continues to fly there in the Beartooth Mountains, also in the Crazy Mountains out there by Big Timber. So yeah, it's changing over. Because of that, the Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory for the Beartooths and also the Bighorns, anywhere from maybe 1 to 2, possibly up to 5 inches of snow in the Beartooths, up to 7 or 8 inches of snow in the Bighorn Mountains. Meanwhile, up there in the northwest corner of the state, we're looking at maybe 5 inches of snow up there in the Front Range of the Rockies. So all those rain showers will continue to turn into snow probably sometime after 2 o'clock tonight and tomorrow morning. So we'll have more in your forecast coming up in a few more minutes. Janelle.
All right, thanks, Bob. While Montana State in Bozeman touts another jump in enrollment, MSU in Billings starting the school year with slightly fewer students than last fall semester. Enrollment is down 2%, or 86 students for 2018. MSUB has about 4,300 students total, 2,749 at the university and 1,566 at City College. Of those students, nearly 4,000 are undergraduates and about 350 are graduates. Dual enrollment, or high school students taking college classes, did increase nearly 17%. On the western side of the state, University of Montana may no longer be known for its humanities department. That is, if proposed budget cuts actually happen. The entire department, with the exception of computer science and Native American studies, will go away. That's just some of the information out today as school leaders presented an updated plan to get the school's budget in check and still educate its students. MTN's Connor McCauley reports.
Budget cuts to the University of Montana have been well publicized, but the strategy to how those cuts are being carried out might be a little different than originally thought.
It's been a very detailed, collaborative process of providing a lot of input so that we're making the right decisions as a community.
The community aspect of the decision-making process is something the provost says makes the University of Montana special.
That's the culture here, is one of collaboration, engagement. If you look at universities that don't have that, it's a lot more difficult. If there is a belief that, a couple of people in a room are making decisions without input, here there's been a long tradition of engaging faculty, staff, students, community members, alumni in providing input that then goes into the final decisions.
That collaborative process has left the university with a detailed outline on budget cuts that will need to be fulfilled by 2021. This leaves departments 3 years to progressively ease into these cuts instead of executing them all at once.
You can't turn things on and off, overnight. You have to plan over multiple years. So we don't want big dramatic changes over short time periods. We want to have a planned transition so that everyone can work towards those things. So yes, it's a multi-year plan that represents the sort of long-term planning that every institution should be doing.
All of this careful planning goes into a budget aimed to make the U the top institution in Montana for years to come.
So we take this work very seriously because of the impact that it has on our communities. But if we don't do this and we don't plan and implement, the impact is even larger. So we're doing what we know is the responsible thing for the university so that it can shine and thrive into the future.
In Missoula, Connor McCauley, MTN News.
Provost Harbor also mentioned the importance of arts programs to the University of Montana, saying the U of M is the flagship arts institution in this state and its success is important. From state education to political news, this week MTN's Mike Dennison has been profiling the candidates in the race for Montana's U.S. House seat. Tonight, he tells us more about Libertarian candidate, Billings attorney Eleanor Swanson.
Eleanor Swanson calls herself a moderate libertarian who believes in gradual change, but her primary focus is cutting the federal deficit.
We're going to be paying for the debt one way or another, either in one big crash or slow and steady. So I would prefer the slow and steady maneuver. Swanson says the country could return to the revenue and spending levels of President Bill Clinton's final term when the budget did balance. She also doesn't think much of Republicans' 2017 federal tax cut, which she called bad fiscal and economic policy. Like however much you stimulate the economy, you have growth of 4% instead of 1% or 2%. That doesn't make up for almost $1 trillion a year in annual deficit. Swanson grew up primarily in Alaska and moved to Billings in 2015. She and her husband David have 4 children. She has a campaign website and has been touring the state this month, visiting 20-some cities and towns. She's running against Republican Congressman Greg Gianforte and Democrat Kathleen Williams. When asked whether she's just a spoiler in the race who can't possibly win, Swanson says she's the only real alternative to politics as usual. Either you have 2 candidates who will not uphold the Constitution, or you have a candidate like me that is actually committed to upholding individual liberties and the Constitution. You can see all 3 candidates together this Saturday on MTN stations in their first and likely only live debate this campaign season. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Thanks so much, Mike. Now, MTN's live debate on Saturday begins at 6 p.m. Coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, this camp in Red Lodge is building more than friendships. It's building hope. We'll show you how. And later in sports, West High's Carrie Carpenter is chasing her first state title. Scott shows us if she leads at the halfway point.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2. Montana's news leader.